So guys, I'm gonna show you something bizarre, but in order to show you this bizarre thing, I think I need to explain to you the context, and my god, the context is long. For those of you who don't know, there's a journalist by the name of Milo Yiannopoulos. After getting banned from Twitter thanks to trolling the living hell out of Leslie Jones, he's going out there to keep on the good fight against nonsense. One of those good fights is to publish his own autobiography named Dangerous, which is selling like hotcakes on Amazon. Now, there's a lot of controversy surrounding the book's release. Milo gets $250,000 from the publisher Simon & Schuster, and people freaking flipped. One of the funniest salt came from none other than the person who got her book rejected, Zoe Quinn.
As I write this, 4 more outlets have posted updates on Fuckface's book deal. Guess how many posted about my upcoming book?
Nobody, Zoe Quinn, because people have known that you are a serial harasser. Video link in my Minds blog down below.
Mine is from a survivor's perspective. Mine contains actual guides on how to make shit better than it is, but it's not a scandal.
Yeah, and those guides, she implemented very well in her anti-bullying network Khan. What a great name. Again, I have a video for that link in my minds.com blog. So, lots and lots of people are getting salty over this, but these people never learn. The more and more these people try to boycott this absolutely monstrous book, the more and more attention it gets. Do you know why? Because everybody criticizing this book before it was released is being really vague about why the book or the person is bad. I mean, just learn how many attention that Ghostbusters 2016 get, and just look at the box office. The massive amount of attention that it gets actually hurts it. That's because the publicity that Ghostbusters 2016 have is mostly negative. People know that the movie's gonna be god-awful, so they stayed away from it. And I mean it when I say that they're being really vague. I'm not gonna go over people's tweets. Those are nothing. I'm just gonna go into an article.
The Milo Yiannopoulos book deal is not like any other offensive book deals. It's worse.
This article shows exactly why boycotts on this thing are gonna backfire.
Milo Yiannopoulos lives to make you hate him, the alt-right poster boy who made his name in 2014 as the journalistic champion of Gamergate, despite openly despising people who play video games, operates like a 7-year-old boy trying to gross out other kids in the school bus.
This is why I don't like Milo. He's a very big opportunist. He's only going to the side of gamers when he absolutely needs it, which makes him a rather questionable person to follow. But the thing is, he's one of the many who kickstarted Gamergate by exposing the secret mailing list Game Journal pros. There are lots of things I disagree with Milo. There are behaviors that I really disagree with Milo, but that doesn't make him absolutely wrong on everything. In fact, his opponents make a very good contrast, so much to the point where he's the one looking more fabulous among them.
From cheering on a backlash against women in video games to becoming a key player in the rise of neo-Nazism, Milo may not believe a damn thing he's saying, but he seems to adore the anger and hurt he causes by saying it.
Now, those are just the first 2 sentences of this article. Notice how this article already gives tons and tons of questions. It was written only for the people who already agrees with the writer. Milo is terrible because he supported Gamergate, a movement to fight for better and more ethical journalism in both the video game industry and journalism in general. Milo is an alt-right poster boy, which he wasn't actually. His definition of alt-right is different to the actual people in the alt-right. Here's also my favorite sentence.
If Yiannopoulos just gave speeches fulminating about sociopathic feminist bitches and claiming that systematic racism and white privilege are bullshit, he wouldn't be much different than your standard men's rights activist.
They're basically exposing on why people like Milo in the first place. You might try to reconsider some of your tactics here. Yes, he called feminists sociopathic bitches because in some ways they are. Yes, he said systematic racism and white privilege are bullshit because in some ways they are, and he's there trying to explain to you why. You're on the mindset that all of those things are good, when they're not. And lots of people are against both feminists and the idea of systematic racism and white privilege more than you can think of.
Yiannopoulos is valuable to the right wing precisely because he is not just another talking head, he's younger, a creature of the internet, well versed in the medium's interactive nature and permeable boundaries. He doesn't just play to the ugly beliefs of his audience, he weaponizes them.
Keep in mind that he has been on the record saying that even the right hates him.
White supremacists hate me. The Daily Stormer is the epicenter of white supremacy on the internet. They declared a holy war on me. They said they would never read Breitbart again until Breitbart fired me. They said I was their number one enemy. White supremacists and anti-Semites hate me.
The trend arguably started with his embrace of Gamergate, when even light harassment consisted of death threats and attempts to tank the targets' careers. The truly and unfortunate had men with guns sent to their homes.
Now, to prove that Gamergate is a terrible, terrible movement consisting of harassment, death threats, they cited an article where it is alleged that Gamergate swatted Izzy Galvez. Ironically, the same person who thinks doxing is not okay unless when we do it. Do you know the best part of that article other than it's from The Guardian? There's nothing that indicates Gamergate did it. It's a claim that The Guardian pulled out of their ass. Something they always do.
Any firm rules along those lines would be at least as likely to disadvantage controversial left-wing causes like transgender rights as they would be to keep out bigots. There's a certain ideal of American democracy in which it's essential for people to disagree with each other, not because all ideas are good, but to keep society from ever being completely overtaken by one bad idea. It's only democracy when it benefits us. When it's going against us, it's hate. It's hateful. You're spreading more hate. It should be censored. Bigots should be censored. And hate in this case is a rather ambiguous word. And I find it completely ironic that the article argues this when right on the top, on that title, the subtitle literally says, "The very thing that makes Yiannopoulos marketable makes it irresponsible to publish him." This writer is practically trying to hold the publisher responsible for spreading hate. And by hate, they mean things that they disagree with. Something that they say themselves that should be tolerated. This article gets contradictory. In just one page, it is astonishing. If you want to hate on something, at least be clear on the reasoning on why you hate it. Otherwise, your attempts on making this book fail will only backfire. Again, it backfired because his critics are astonishingly vague about why the book is bad. They cannot properly explain. They cannot show why the book is bad. They can only tell. It's not enough to convince people. Now, one of the people who got salty over this is not other than Leslie Jones, who is the victim of this entire Twitter trolling and that one big factor of why Milo got kicked off of Twitter. In response to Simon & Schuster, "But you still help them spread their hate to even more people."
It's hypocritical coming from Leslie Jones, who has on record hating on white people. I don't get why Milo gets banned from spreading hate, but people like MTV is being let go. And I'm not talking about being let go by, well, any sensible human being living on planet Earth. I'm talking about being let go by these people who claim that we're spreading more and more hate, as if hating something for a good reason is bad. Now, why am I talking about this now? It's because of two things. One is because Philip DeFranco made a video on this basically saying the same thing that I said, and people also flipped out on him and called him a white supremacist. Why? Because everything that these people don't like is white supremacist. I mean, anime body pillows are not considered products of white supremacy just because one guy doesn't like it. It's just the most hilarious thing I have ever heard in a while. It just goes to show you that these people have a very weird understanding of what the word hate means. Like, spreading hate? All that Philip DeFranco did on this video is just telling you guys what's going on, telling his personal opinions, spreading hate. And I'm very sure that this hate that they're talking about is just mere projection. Like, they actually say, oh, it's spreading hate towards like a certain group of people, but in reality, it's actually spreading hate towards them. It's actually spreading hate towards, the overly sensitive snowflakes. And you know what? Maybe some of these overly sensitive snowflakes deserve some of these hatred because, they're overly sensitive. Like, just a little bit, a tiny bit of freaking wrong, and they go berserk on the comment section or go berserk on a freaking Twitter, and it is just so annoying. Maybe sometimes, just sometimes, annoying the living hell out of these overly sensitive snowflakes is just the right thing to do. I don't know, just my personal opinion. What you guys think on this? Another thing that I want to talk about is, well, I'm just gonna show you why Twitter Moments is freaking stupid. Twitter have this, trending moments thing, when you browse Twitter, and they usually have these moments thing. And I'm gonna let this picture speaks for itself. It's so bizarre, isn't it? Like I got nothing. What kind of comment should I say on that thing? Just, the following may contain sensitive material. Now, I think this is freaking stupid, but there is an alternative viewpoint on this, and this one is very plausible. Think about this for a second. In hell, the punishment will be nothing but suffering to those who deserve it, and those who dare to challenge the will of God will be served the most well-versed of pain, torture, sodomy, rape, and at the top of the pyramid for the most unfortunate of souls, nudes of Leslie Jones. Twitter is hell, and we're all gonna suffer through it. This is why I suggest all of you to start opening up new alternative social media accounts. For example, Minds. Now, if you don't know Minds.com, Minds is an absolutely amazing site dedicated on free speech. Now, I'm gonna put some of the content in there, of course, alongside my YouTube videos. Instead of putting all my sources in the description box down below as usual, I'm gonna put all my sources in the Minds blog. And yes, this also includes the art that I use for the video and links and images to those who actually want to use them for research materials. That and Minds have better formatting than YouTube description. I will also put in extra opinions and maybe some things that I forgot to add in the video, or maybe responding to some of the comments. Think of it as a companion piece for my new 2017 conquest on YouTube. And full disclosure, this is not a paid promotion. This is merely me recommending something good. Minds is still on beta. The Android version is still very laggy. Even in my Samsung J7 Prime, there's no option to monetize for Indonesian viewers yet, or get the monetization to actually go to PayPal. So can anyone work on that, please? Other than that, it's a good site. If you want to follow me on Minds, link in the description. I'll be putting on blog posts on certain topics and opinions. Please do go right there for more. Go ahead and check it out. That's all for the video today. If you like this, you can go ahead and click the like button and subscribe for more if you wish. You can support me on Patreon. And thanks for watching.